Cheating doesn't happen in silence. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere like a lightning bolt. It brews, it grows, and before it explodes, it always leaves a trail. The harsh truth? A woman who cheats always leaves signs. Always. The real problem is most men see the cracks, but they look away, hoping it's nothing. They tell themselves she's just stressed, just busy, just tired. But deep down, the gut never lies. That quiet sting in your chest? That's not paranoia. That's your instincts screaming. And tonight, we're exposing the signs no man should ignore. Before we dive in, if you're serious about understanding female psychology and protecting your peace of mind, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. Let's get into it. Sign 1. Her attention isn't where it used to be. You ever walk into a room and instantly feel the vibe has shifted? Like something's off, but no one says it out loud? That's exactly how it feels when a woman starts cheating. It rarely begins with physical betrayal. It starts with something far more subtle: her attention. At first, it's so small you brush it off. She used to be excited to see you. She asked about your day, your little stories, even things that didn't matter to anyone else. But slowly, those moments fade. Now, when you're talking, her eyes drift to her phone. She forgets things you told her just yesterday. She used to laugh at your stupid jokes, and now it feels like she's forcing a smile, or worse, ignoring you completely. Here's the hard truth. Women rarely pull their energy away without a reason. If she's emotionally invested in you, she can't help but show it. When her attention slips, it means that energy is being redirected somewhere else. Maybe a coworker who suddenly gets more of her smiles. Maybe late-night chats with someone you've never met. Or maybe just the fantasy of life without you. But whatever it is, you'll feel the shift. And the cruel part? When you bring it up, she'll often deflect. You're overthinking. You're insecure. I've just been tired. These words are shields, ways to avoid the conversation. But your gut knows better. A woman who loves you doesn't just wake up one morning and stop caring about your world. If she's distant, it's not by accident. It's intention. Think of it like this. Attention is the currency of connection. When she spends less of it on you, it means she's investing somewhere else. That's why your conversations feel shallow. That's why her warmth feels manufactured. That's why you feel like you're with someone physically present but mentally absent. And once that pattern starts, it rarely stops. Don't confuse this with a bad day or a stressful week. Everyone gets distracted sometimes. But if this becomes a constant, if you feel her drifting further each week, you need to pay attention. Because the heart doesn't lie, even if the words do. The mistake most men make? They gaslight themselves. They say, she's just busy. They excuse it until the truth is unavoidable. But deep down, you knew the first time she stopped looking at you the way she used to. Her attention is no longer on you, and once it's gone, it rarely comes back. Sign 2. The secrecy creeps in. Cheating doesn't start with the act. It starts with the small hidden shifts. A cheating woman becomes a magician. And her favorite trick? Disappearing details. She used to share everything. Her day at work, what her best friend said, what annoyed her about traffic. It was natural. Now? Suddenly it's vague. It was fine. Nothing much happened. The stories get shorter, the details blurrier. It's not just what she says, it's what she doesn't. Pay close attention to her phone. Before, it was left on the couch, face up, no problem. Now? It's glued to her hand. It's face down. She takes it with her to the bathroom like it's made of gold. Notifications are turned off, passwords are changed, and if you even glance at the screen, you're accused of being controlling. Online, it's the same story. Once, you were proudly displayed. Photos, captions, tagged memories. Now, it's as if she's single again. No trace of you. And when you ask, she frames you as jealous, insecure, even toxic. But the truth? She's compartmentalizing, splitting her life into two lanes. The version you see and the version she hides. And secrecy doesn't just protect her, it confuses you. It makes you question your own sanity. That's emotional gaslighting. You're told you're paranoid, while in reality, the patterns scream otherwise. Remember, love thrives in openness. The moment secrecy creeps in, trust begins to rot. And once trust rots, the relationship is already on borrowed time. Sign 3. Intimacy mutates. Intimacy is one of the loudest signals of truth in a relationship. And when a woman cheats, intimacy never stays the same. It either dries up or mutates into something that feels foreign. Some women go cold. Kisses feel rushed. Touches feel heavy. Sex becomes a chore. You sense it. Her body is there, but her soul is not. And that emptiness cuts deeper than rejection. It feels like trying to hug someone through glass. But here's the twist. Sometimes it's the opposite. She suddenly becomes overly affectionate, introduces new moves in bed, or shows a hunger that wasn't there before. At first, you might think it's passion reignited, but deep down it feels off. Because intimacy, when it's real, feels natural. When it's forced or exaggerated, it feels like a performance. Why does this happen? Simple. When a woman is unfaithful, her intimacy currency is redirected. Either she withholds it from you, or she overcompensates to cover her tracks. Both extremes are signals. The hardest part is the aftermath. After intimacy, you don't feel close, you feel emptier. And that's your soul telling you something is broken. Because real love doesn't leave you feeling more alone afterward. Sign 4. She picks pointless fights. A cheating woman often starts creating drama where none exists. Why? Because guilt has to go somewhere, and instead of owning it, she projects it onto you. You'll notice the arguments don't make sense anymore. You reply late to a text, and suddenly you're accused of neglect. You leave a dish in the sink, and suddenly you never listen. Tiny issues get blown into wars, and you sit there thinking, this isn't about the dish, this isn't about the text. And you're right, it's not. It's about her guilt. She can't stand being the villain in her own story. So she flips the script and makes you the problem. If you're the bad guy, then she feels justified seeking comfort elsewhere. It's self-justification. Gaslighting disguised as empowerment. Here's the trick. Don't play into it. Don't fight chaos with chaos. Observe. Watch the patterns. Because once she's picking fights out of thin air, it's not about love anymore. It's about building distance so she can walk away without feeling guilty. Sign 5. You vanish from her future. This one is the quietest but the most painful. At first, you were part of her dreams. She talked about traveling together, buying a place, building a life. The future was we. But slowly, it changes. The we becomes I. I want to travel. I need to move. I just want to figure things out. The plans are still there, but you're not in them. She'll frame it as independence, as growth, as needing space. But underneath, it's detachment. She's rehearsing life without you. She's already moving on in her mind before she ever leaves physically. And that's why you feel like a ghost in your own relationship. The eyes don't lie. The love feels hollow. You sense she's already halfway gone. And by the time you realize it, she's been planning her exit for weeks. That's why this sign cuts so deep. It's not loud like fights. It's not obvious like secrecy. It's subtle, creeping like fog. But it's the clearest sign she's cheating. Because the moment she erases you from her future, the relationship is already over. Sign 6. Her priorities shift overnight. When a woman cheats, or even begins to think about it, her priorities don't just shift, they flip like a switch. And the scary part? Most men don't even notice it happening until it's too late. Think back to when she was fully invested in you. She cared about your well-being, your goals, your wins. She wanted to spend time together, and even when she was busy, she found a way to make you feel included. But when her loyalty starts to crack, those priorities fade. Suddenly, work takes up all her time. Friends you've never heard of become a bigger part of her life. She's always too tired, too busy, too stressed to spend quality time with you. But magically, she's got endless energy for things outside the relationship. And here's the thing. Priorities always reveal what matters. Nobody's too busy for someone they love. If she can post selfies on Instagram, scroll TikTok for hours, or stay up texting friends until 2 a.m., but she can't give you 10 minutes of real presence, something's wrong. You'll notice the change in small ways. She stops supporting your passions. She doesn't celebrate your wins anymore. She doesn't care if you're having a bad day. It's not that she's evil. It's that her focus has shifted elsewhere, and you're no longer on top of the list. Here's where it gets twisted. When you point it out, she'll gaslight you. She'll say, "You're being clingy. You're not respecting my independence." And independence is fine, healthy even. But this isn't independence. This is emotional distance disguised as personal growth. Understand this. When a woman truly loves you, you are part of her priorities. She weaves you into her world. She doesn't cut you out of it. When she starts acting like you're optional, when she consistently puts everything and everyone above you, it's not random. It's a sign. And if you ignore it, you'll wake up one day realizing she's been slowly moving you out of her life to make room for someone else. A woman's priorities are like a compass. They point to where her heart really is. If that compass no longer points in your direction, it's because she's already turned toward another path. And once her focus shifts, brother, it's almost impossible to drag it back. Sign 7. Her energy feels different, like she's already somewhere else. The last sign isn't something you can measure. It's not in the texts, the arguments, or even the plans. It's in the vibe. You ever sit next to someone you love and feel like they're not really there? Like the body is present but the soul is gone? That's the final stage of a cheating woman. Her energy shifts so strongly, it feels like you're living with a ghost. It shows up in her eyes first. The sparkle you used to see when she looked at you? Gone. Her gaze is cold, distracted, scanning the room like she's waiting for something else. Conversations become shallow, like she's checking a box. Laughter feels forced, affection feels robotic. She's physically there, but emotionally, she's long gone. And deep down, you feel it. That pit in your stomach, that heaviness in your chest. You might try to rationalize it, but energy doesn't lie. She may deny it. She may tell you everything's fine, but her presence tells the real story. Here's the psychological truth. Cheating doesn't just kill trust, it kills connection. A woman can't fully invest in two places at once. If her soul is leaning toward another man, then with you, it's just an act. She'll play her role, but the depth is gone. And you'll know it, even if you don't want to admit it. The danger is most men ignore this energy shift. They cling harder, beg, chase, thinking love will pull her back. But in reality, the more you chase, the further she drifts. Because her absence isn't an accident, it's her way of preparing to leave. So, how do you handle it? You don't fight for someone who's already mentally checked out. You don't bargain with energy. You stand tall, you respect yourself, and you let her actions reveal the truth. Because once a woman's energy has shifted for good, nothing you say will bring it back. The hardest thing to accept is also the most freeing. When her soul has already left the relationship, holding on to her body doesn't mean anything. All you'll get is emptiness. And a man who respects himself doesn't live on scraps. He recognizes the truth, even when it hurts, and he chooses peace over illusions. Cheating doesn't just drop out of the sky. It doesn't happen in silence, without warning, without cracks in the wall. A woman who cheats always leaves signs. Always. The problem is, most men see those signs but choose to look away. They tell themselves she's just tired, just stressed, just busy. But the truth? The gut never lies. The shift in attention, the secrecy, the intimacy that feels fake or absent, the pointless fights that come out of nowhere, the way you slowly disappear from her future, the priorities that flip, the energy that feels like she's already living another life. These aren't accidents. These are footprints in the mud. The question is, Are you strong enough to see them? Or will you keep pretending everything's fine until the truth rips you apart? Here's the hard fact most men don't want to accept. Once she crosses that line, once she chooses deception over honesty, the relationship is no longer what you think it is. You can't build trust on cracks. You can't force love back into a space where it's already left. And you sure as hell can't beg someone to stay when they've already walked out in their heart. So, brother, if these signs sound familiar, don't waste your time drowning in denial. Respect yourself enough to face the truth. Protect your peace more than you protect the illusion. Because a man who values himself doesn't beg for crumbs, he walks away when the table's rotten. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt these signs before? Did your gut scream something was wrong before your mind admitted it? Drop a comment below and type clarity if you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're tired of guessing, tired of being blind to the patterns, and ready to understand female psychology on a deeper level, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on all notifications because around here, we don't sugarcoat. We sharpen minds, expose the truth, and help you protect your value. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and remember, your peace is worth more than her excuses.